All right, welcome back to Adventures with the Hat Commander. This is episode 4 of Vampire the Masquerade Coteries of New York. Last time was a fairly short session. We met our first possible brother in arms, D'Angelo. Pretty interesting character. Don't love the art choice, but I'm an art snob, so it is what it is. And as far as technique, it's fine. I don't like it. If you do, great. Just because I don't like something doesn't mean that it's got to hurt your feelings. I'm sure there's plenty of things I like that you don't. Let's see what happens tonight. So I was really unsure about what I'm supposed to do this next time around. Oh, am I red because I need a feed? I bet that's the case. All right. So... But if I feed, is that going to screw up my contacts? I don't like that, but it's a possibility. It's a quiet, moody internet cafe. Half of its space serves as a comfy coffee bar these days, and the other half is a Dungeons and Dragons cafe. I don't know. No, but they do that here. But behind a glass wall, it is still a space dedicated to rows of PCs. From the street, you can notice tired adults in casual clothes typing away absent-mindedly, and some bored kids wasting the late evening hours on colorful online games. If Sophie's intel is to be believed, this is where Hope has set up her haven. One of the waiters is standing outside the building, gazing at the sky with a smartphone in one hand and a vape pen in the other. You approach the man and tell him, "If I told you I was supposed to meet Hope here, what would you say to me?" "I'd probably tell you I'm surprised. People are usually far more discreet about seeing her." Man slowly takes a drag from his e-cig, sizing you up and down in silence. After a long, awkward moment, he raises his voice again. "Well, at least you look normal, pal. Come, right this way." He heads back in the cafe, and you follow his lead. When you make your way through the space with computers, no one averts their gaze from the spreadsheets, emails, Facebook profiles, or games of Fortnite. Could you play Fortnite at an internet cafe? I'm not sure that computers would be that great. It's a common sight, one you wouldn't have paid much attention to a few weeks ago, but now it seems so unnervingly quaint. Would they still be spending their time like this if they were immortal? The waiter unlocks an unassuming door at the end of the room and lets you inside. You two swiftly make your way through a labyrinth of sterile gray corridors, taking confusing twists and turns. Feels like you're traveling into a different world, crossing one invisible portal after another. Eventually, you reach your destination. Your guide motions you into a dark room with a lone source of pale light, a computer screen in the distance beckoning you to come closer. As you do, you hear the door shutting behind you, back and a short chuckle echoing behind it. Is this the place? Nothing else to do but sit on a chair in front of the computer. The monitor displays a modern chat application. A cursor is blinking in the user's nickname entry field in the middle of the screen, obviously expecting you to input your handle. After brief consideration, you type in "Honesty's best. Calvin, better play it straight and prove you have nothing to hide," as a gesture of goodwill. After a few seconds, the chat window opens and messages start appearing on the screen in quick succession. Oh no, you got a bunch of dirty pop-ups. You got a virus. Hostage executioner. Whoa. Whoa. Sorry, pal. I don't know. Is it going to stop? Okay, it is. All right, hostage executioner. Just to be clear, I don't have a roast rag. LAMA. Oh for sure. No, for real. LMAO was meant for Jerry. Oh, of course. Not much longer. Yeah, Jerry is the chat MVP. I mean, I've admitted to far worse things on here. Goodness, I'm so happy. Not sure why I'd have a need to lie about this one. Oh my gosh, literally, who cares? You and me both, bozo. Wait, who's Calvin? Calvin? No idea. A new user wasn't here a second before. What the heck? Was anyone informed? No announcement. I know I wasn't at Jerry 2010. At Calvin, identify yourself within 2 minutes or get banned. The chat goes silent. Everyone's seemingly waiting for you to say something before proceeding. This must be a close-knit group. Better say something before they kick you out. Looking for Hope. Is she here? Who the F are you? This was meant to be a safe channel. Investigate. Oh, gosh, man. Who the F are you? This was meant to be a safe channel. Investigating what went wrong. How did they even get in here? Stay calm. Can you get their location, Jerry? LOL. Yeah, sure. That's her, Jerry. Gotta DM it to anyone interested. Oh boy, now you're in trouble at Calvin. Yeah, you're gonna regret, dumb booty, the day you decide to spy on us, okay? Let's use some power. You've had enough of these trash-talking randos. Time to teach them some respect. Your blood fires up. Ancient powers. Can I affect people with my blood over an internet chat? Start coursing through your veins. I'm going to guess it's a waste. Fingers tapping the keyboard buttons on their own. You people better stay quiet if you know what's good for you. You have no idea who you're messing with. You will obey me. The chat goes silent once again, and then it explodes. What am I looking at here? Laugh out loud. Oh, stuff. Watch out. He started typing properly. I'm so glad I decided to log in early today. You have no idea who you're messing with. I would be so pissed if I missed this. You know he means business. Ha 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 ha. Guess your powers don't work online, I figured. Go figure. You know your cheeks would turn blood red right now if they still could. Got the info. Nice. You want to die? A-hole, you will die. You will die. Die. Sentenced to death for a stinky name their mom gave them. Tough Poopy. I'm literally on my way to kill you right now. Yeah, sorry to inform you you're about to die. Ripe snitch. You're getting your throat slit right here, right now. Split second after you read the message, you feel someone's arms tighten around your neck. The violent return to reality catches you off guard. A jolt of panic rushes through your brain, paralyzing you momentarily. You've come to the wrong chat room, mother stinker. A ridiculous whisper rings out next to your ear. The grip under your head gets even tighter. You start struggling, but even with your newfound supernatural strength, you're having trouble breaking out. This isn't a normal human you're dealing with. Last words. Good luck, I can't die. Just because you're a kindred, got some bad news for you. The hand holding your chin shifts its position slightly. Don't struggle, or I will break your windpipe or my phone, which would end even worse for you. Sound of a camera shutter and a light flashing. Did they just take some selfies with you? All right, that's enough fun. I'm letting you go. We can have a talk. Don't do anything stupid, Mr. Intruder. Pretty please. The mysterious assailant loosens their grip on you and gently pushes you away. You quickly turn to take a good look at them. All right, let me just finish this. It's a pale blonde woman in her 20s giving you slightly judgmental looks while rapidly tapping away at her phone screen. First, you notice her outrageous outfit, seemingly thrown together from random thrift store finds. Then you take note of her tattoos, a sprawling tapestry of odd patterns and designs covering every visible part of her body. At first glance, it seems aimless, but it has a consistent sense of style upon closer inspection. Her eyes focus on you for a second. Gave you a scare, huh? Sorry, that's what you get for entering a lady's haven without her permission. She's back to her phone. With her relatively small build, it's hard to believe you had trouble overpowering her physically. But then again, nothing is what it seems when it comes to the undead, and even compared to the vampires you've met so far, she comes off as an eccentric, curious presence. She shoots you another glance, noticing you're still cautious of her. Calm yourself, man. I won't pull anything like this anymore. It was just a feel stupid saying it out loud, a vibe check. Vibe check. Yeah, I got a glimpse of your vibe on the internet, and in dangerous situations, I'd say I've got a pretty good idea about who you really are. I'm Hope, by the way. If you're here, you're probably heard of me, so I went ahead and skipped the pleasantries. But come to think of it, I might have skipped too many of those. Yeah, she definitely fits the description you were given by Sophie. She's not crazy enough. I still can't believe, not by the description, but by Malkavian standards. Still can't believe you got so mad online. You actually try to use your powers on people talking trash about you from who knows where. Jeez. But I kind of respected that dedication. It's amusing. Anyway, don't worry about the chat. It was all a game to us. No hard feelings, okay? I'll introduce you properly later. On the monitor, the chatter continues normally. Your visit is like yesterday's news, no longer relevant to anything. But look, if we're going to talk about you, you should have something to say too. What are you doing here? About time, she asked. Note to self, she really loves the sound of her own voice. Yeah, I know the feeling. I'm looking for people to join my coterie. Coterie? Been there, done that, not interested, unless... She takes a closer look at you. Her eyes go wide. Wait. Shoot. Are you the new Langley plaything? Words seem to be getting around fast. Of course you are. It was obvious the second Langley got her hand on a new servant, she'd start building a network. Your missions tell me that could really come in handy when... But Langley, that's a risky game. This kind of ambition attracts too much attention. Piss off. But then again, frick, Kara. She seems to be having a spirited argument with herself. Only parts of it audible. Is it just you, or do her facial expressions and body language change a bit between one sentence and the other? Before you can make certain it's not just your eye playing tricks on you, she focuses half of her attention back on you. The other half, of course, is still obsessed with her smartphone. Listen, I'm not saying I'm not interested in cooperation, but before I make a decision, I need to make sure you sort of understand me, that I sort of understand you. And since I was planning to put on a show before you came here, I propose a little game. Hope absent-mindedly spins her phone in her hand, considering how to put her thoughts into words. Then she approaches a switch on the wall and flicks it. Neon lights flare up, illuminating the room. You take a look around. Meat hooks? The room is certainly unique. It looks like a butcher's room, repurposed to be a living space. The modern computer in front of you starkly contrasts the ominous industrial walls. At the back, there's an overwrought bed covered in velvet with meat hooks hanging above it. Now, on top of the bed sheets, you notice what seems to be pieces of elaborate S&M equipment and a camera. Great. Wait a minute. You want my help moderate my cam show? Oh, man. Cam show? Your eyebrows switched involuntarily. This definitely is not the kind of request you expected here tonight. She notices your confusion. Take it or leave it, buddy. You just became a kindred, but you want to become my partner in crime? Show me you can handle yourself while watching me watching my back in my everyday environment. Let's hope you just do something really bizarre on that camshell. She's serious. The show starts in 10 minutes. If you think you're better than this, better walk out the door right now. Well, I do, but I need you. I won't hold a grudge. I've got better things to do. Whatever happened to people doing things in their own time? Now everybody's got to drag you into their crap. As if to prove it, she looks at something displayed on her phone and cracks a brief grin. Another reply typed down with absurd speed. Tap, 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 tap. 9 minutes. It's now or never. Show moderator. Risk of violating the masquerade? High. Content warning? Oh, yes. So, do you take the job? If I have to. Hope rolls her eyes further back than you thought was possible. If I have to. Not exactly an inspiring person, are you? She begins to sigh but stifles it quickly and reflects. Sorry, I get it. You might have gotten a bad first impression of me or whatever, but I promise this will prove surprisingly educational. All right, give me a second. She spends a minute stepping up to the computer you used before, then urges you to sit down. She spends a minute setting up the computer you used before, then urges you to sit down. The explanation of the moderator's functionalities is simple. It boils down to ignoring anyone who doesn't disrupt the chat, banning anyone who does, and kicking anyone who's causing minor trouble. Minor trouble. 5 minutes later, she's already online, sitting on her bed in a provocative pose. It is a hanky-panky show, isn't it? Her voice, previously hushed, rings out with full force. How are you doing tonight, hopefuls? You peek at the chat. We're not worthy, queen. Frickin' A. Angel. Tot. Or is that? That's not thought. There should be an H. Heck yeah. Time to freak. Yeah, this is definitely not going on my normal YouTube channel. You're tempted to try out the kick and ban prompts as soon as possible, but obviously you won't punish someone for a little dirty talk. Thank you. Today's show is quite special. Please welcome our new moderator, Calvin. L-A-M-O, who? L-A-M-O. Sorry for sentencing you to death earlier. At least the community here seems to be a bit more welcoming this time. Looks like this place has an established hazing ritual. Or maybe they and Hope came up with one specifically for you. Who knows? You decide to stay silent. Eventually, people stop riffing on you and focus entirely on the star of the show. All right, let's start this one with a bang, shall we? It begins. Queen's just, I'm so tired of hearing that. Oh boy, she's going to do it. So this is where the strip show starts. You raise your head, curious about what kind of performance she's going for. First, she opens her mouth and reveals her retractable fangs in front of the camera. Right off the bat, the online audience is treated to a sight of her wholly human set of teeth turning into a monster's maw. The image is both revolting and fascinating. She raises her left wrist for everybody to see and then bites. The fangs immediately turn her arm into a horrifying, gory mess. It's unclear if she used them to slash or bite, but one thing is for sure, no ordinary human could cause such damage. If an ordinary human suffered such a wound, you'd expect a geyser of blood to appear too, but it doesn't. Hope's technically a corpse, so it's impossible. She flashes a monstrous smile and starts smearing vitae all over her hand to maximize the impact of the violent image. Then she starts drinking it up, something like more gore. She makes it a point to make the sight as gruesome as possible, looking like a hyena feasting on a corpse. The contrast of her behavior with her look of an Instagram model is stunning. She does not look like an Instagram model. I don't know. What do I know? I'm not Instagram. Maybe she does. Once she's done, she reveals her wrist to the camera for the last time. She starts making theatrical gestures with her right hand as the wound begins to mend. Shortly after the wound is gone, It's like a magician's trick. Her left hand looks like nothing bad ever happened to it. Here's an appetizer. First blood to kick off the show. While you're wondering what the heck is going on, Hope catches a glimpse of your bewildered face and turns into your direction. How is that for an opening? You're shooting snuff? Come on, just because it's transgressive violence doesn't mean snuff. A brief moment of awkward silence. Besides, if I was shooting snuff, I wouldn't mend the wound. That's the truth. You expected a strip show? Yeah, sorry to disappoint. This is more like a live stream digital art. The pleasure subtext is there, of course. You peek at the chat. They're going wild. She did that for free. I'd love to lick your wrist clean, my fallen angel. Yes, nothing more arousing than a beautiful woman teetering on the edge of oblivion, a rose petal dancing in the eye of a violent hurricane. But pleasurism is not the key here. It's vampirism. It's a new frontier, a living art installation. In the early 90s, the Japanese artists kept producing these videotapes with beautiful women committing gory hara-kiri. Those are an inspiration. Well, that sounds terrible. She bares her fangs again in a devious grin. But I have no interest in auto-destruction of turning myself into a victim. This is a celebration of a body I love, not a self-inflicted punishment. The audience came here to marvel at a beautiful vampire and her awe-inspiring powers. Mending wounds is just one of these powers. The people watching can pay to see more. Oh, and don't worry, the only thing the audience can see and hear are the things I allow them to. We can talk freely. Just remember to moderate the chat, will you? High risk of violating the masquerade? What a joke. She's blatantly breaching it in front of anonymous viewers. Still speechless, you turn your attention to the screen. Muy guape. All right, I'm not feeling generous today. Have you planned? Oh, goodness. Have you planned your next tattoo yet? I'll pay for the next attraction. Looking like a pink marshmallow covered in raspberry sauce. Thirst victim, just letting you know you're based. I know. Oh, I don't know. It's like just gobbledygook, but are you really going to kick somebody for that? You give the guy a kick for spamming the chat. A few seconds later, Hope groans loudly. What the hell did you kick Masquerade for? It's normal for people to show their excitement like this from time to time. Maybe he'll interrupt as his queen hurting him and be grateful. But stop messing up. Well, how am I supposed to know? Oh well. Special message appears in the chat log claiming somebody has successfully sponsored the first goal of the show. Hope smiles and picks up a bag of blood from underneath the bed. Must have been retrieved from a blood bank. She showcased the label to the camera for everyone to see. Drink up, drink up, drink up, drink up. Hope pours all the contents of the bag into her throat. You have no doubt it's real blood, but wonder why the viewers would be so satisfied with something that's so easy to fake. Don't worry, it pays well enough. You don't even bother to tell her this is not what you're thinking about. Safe to assume she knows. So what do you know about the kindred and the internet? Have they told you anything? While she's waiting for someone to sponsor her next vampiric feat, she decides to start a conversation. Is there a vampire internet? Pfft, if you find something that looks like vampire internet, stay away. See, some of us used to experiment with our own secure networks. We tried to build our own information hubs, social networks, everything. She's still working on the phone in one hand while looking for something under the bed with the other. On how many things can she concentrate at one time exactly? Then one day the NSA got in. Turns out elders never really got the hang of proper security practices. or the sigils they used to smear their screens didn't exactly work as advertised. And then, of course, all the other three-lettered intelligence agencies in the world got the intel. A lot of them decided bloodsuckers were the perfect new enemies for our post-9/11 times. They're always looking for new ones. The Second Inquisition came into being. Ever heard of it? A lot of our kind died just because they were too present online. Right now, the remains of our old networks serve as government honeypots, kept alive to attract fledgling and hunting them down. You post a certain keyword on Twitter or Facebook, you get tagged for investigation. You fit certain patterns, you get tagged for investigation. So there's certainly thrill in becoming an online presence without attracting attention from the authorities. She stretches on the bed. I hope you are still monitoring the chat. Of course not. You're not as good at dividing your attention as she is. You correct your mistake and check the recent messages. She's talking to somebody. Can't wait for the real thing to start. This two-monitor setup rules. Call of Duty on one screen, drop dead hotness on the second. The only woman I don't hate. Hope more like my favorite hoe. I mean, despite the nickname, they seem supportive. You leave them alone. Look away from the screen for a second. When you look back, there are 3 new messages from the same user. Hope, okay. Yo, it's just me, or does that face look like kind of retarded? But don't worry, baby. If you're a special needs person, I have special things here to satisfy you. Of course. Doing a great job back there, Calvin. The guy gets banned, and Hope gets back to turning the show. Great job, Calvin. Great job, Calvin. Okay. They must have heard her. You've messed up. How? Like the first comment? This is stupid. Anyway, yeah. When the Nosferatu admitted to Camarilla their network got compromised, the elders went bat-pooey insane. Internet communications became strictly forbidden. There were executions. A lot of people who use social media to secretly contact their mortal families and lovers got offed. That goes without saying. But if they weren't careful, even the most innocent web usage could result in being punished with final death. Thanks to user Dick Stelly, the next goal has gotten successfully funded. Let's go, Vanishing Act. Dehumanize yourself and face the bloodshed. She raised her hand, 3 fingers up, 2 fingers up, 1 finger up. The countdown ends and she immediately disappears from the screen like a ghost. You can still see her on the bed, but the live feed indicates there's nobody there. When you deeply focus on the digital image, you swear you can make out some unusual glitches where her silhouette should be, but it should very well be just placebo. But it could very well just be placebo. You ready for this? 3, 2, 1. Flash of the camera. An instant, she reappears on the screen. She takes a selfie, sticking her tongue out in a provocative manner. The chat room explodes and cheers again. She is the vampire queen. You briefly wonder about her being glued to the screen. Is the fantasy everyone is here for a girl showing off cheap magic tricks while lazily browsing her social media? You realize you're way out of your depth here. Meanwhile, Hope decides to continue her lecture. There were some wild times, especially in New York. Most of them have no clue as to our real nature. A lot of clandestine organizations have classified us as national threats, and since this is where the towers fell, the agencies are very much present around here looking for easy PR victories. The last SI raid here was just a few years ago, and it was a big one, stirred up the hornet's nest something fierce. But although it's 2019, New York is ruled by someone who got embraced before World War II, and the cam as a whole got really spooked and swore off the internet. Of course, they're not dumb and understand that you can't really coexist with modern kind without the internet. It's a gray zone right now, like piracy, technically frowned upon, but let the one without sin cast the first stone. The SI is a real threat, no joke, but in many senses, the darkest place is right under the candle. Take another look at the screen. Bender, we want blood. How about some bat stuff? Can you do some bat stuff? Can you show us next? It's been a long, hard day. Please give me a shout out. Yeah. What familiar nickname pops up? Okay, he's back. Guy seems to be having the time of his life. Good on you, buddy. You're just going to let this guy... I kicked him last time and you got mad at me. This is stupid. It's just your job to react to spam. She lets out a dejected sigh and kicks the guy from the room herself. Can't imagine she's too satisfied with how you handle the situation. The show goes on. Oh yeah, fun fact about being a vampire. We can sweat and pee if we just exert ourselves really hard. Some of us can even feel pleasure. We can even cry, but only tears of blood. Something I always dreamed of doing when I was 14. So romantic, and it drives them crazy. As proof of her words, a scarlet tear starts running down her face. The chat goes wild. This seems to be exactly what kind of thing they were waiting for. An angel that fell down from heaven. I don't know what that is. Some face. Oh my goodness, she did again. Beatific. Hope you tortured soul. Find some calm eventually. Can you imagine USA assembling a blood-sucking squad that would just cruise by the border and suck blood out of any illegal they found? Of course, it's dumb. And banned. Just to be clear, you realize that we're doing here is a blatant breach of the masquerade, right? I honestly expected you to leave or inform somebody by now, but you haven't, have you? Try to focus on the chat. Familiar nickname is displayed on the screen. Looks like Mr. Masochist needs a longer break. After you ban him, you hear Hope's voice. Good job handling that guy. Yeah, for once. Great. If nothing else works out, seems like you fit this job at the very least. In any case, the last goal has just been funded. It's time for the great finale. This is what you've all been waiting for, right? Yes, Queen. Yes. Yes, Queen. Her voice has changed. She gets closer to the camera, letting her face fill the frame of the light feed. Her mesmerizing eyes are focused purely on the viewers. You wanted blood, come out into the street, claw out your neighbors' throats, slash their veins, and drink up. Yes, Queen, yes, Queen, yes. Hope's presence becomes absolutely horrifying and influences the chat in some incomprehensible way. Everyone starts typing like they are possessed. Liberate yourselves from the shackles of ordinary mortality. Make them scream. Feel the warmth of their entrails. Okay. What the heck is she doing to those people? What have you gotten yourself into? Transcend your bodies. Release the message of hope into the world. She jerks violently for a second and then falls down on the bed like a marionette that has just had its strings severed. She exhales loudly a few times and laughs. When she does, the room goes dark again. All right, that's enough. Instead of continuing, she does something with her phone. The stream ends and the chat instantly becomes dead quiet. Let me take over. The atmosphere in the room has completely changed. She's already put herself together and stood up. Now she's walking towards you. What the F just happened? Guess the show's over. Everyone relax and go home. And I was almost ready to release bros. Hostage, I swear on my father's grave, one day I'll find you and kick the ever-living poo out of you. After every line she delivers, she changed her voice, the way she puts her lips together, even the way she moves. You've caught glimpses of her acting this way, but only now have you started to figure it out. Wait a minute, does that mean I'm immortal? I'm bored. I'm separated from most vampires in the city by a generational chasm, and I'm so gosh darn lonely. The internet used to be my only friend. Years ago, I started researching tulpas, collective unconsciousness, all the mumbo-jumbo at the intersection of psychology and spirituality. I decided to experiment. The show was fake. A few years later, I was an Instagram fashionista, successful model, a vital part of pop culture commentariat, a viral stuff poster, a cryptocurrency expert. All my internet selves started signal boosting each other, paving the way for new ones. I became a one-woman empire surrounded by legions of psycho fans. The chat was fake. Some may think of it as a dissociative identity disorder, but that's bull stuff. Everyone has online alter egos. They buried. I just resurrected them, gave birth to new ones, and let them crossbreed. I don't think everybody has them, but there's plenty that do. Her constant tapping of the phone, even during the show, somehow she's capable of impersonating an entire chat room. I don't even have a self that could dissociate or be mentally ill. I'm a host, a living database. I live because I find it fun to be an information conduit, to process trends and support the ones I deem worthy. There was no masquerade violation. She was showing off her skills all along. She put you into a world of pure fiction, the same way she was testing you when she attacked you from the back. Dang, she's good at this. Of course, you can just ignore that. Of course, you can just ignore what I'm saying and decide I'm just another deranged Malkavian. But hey, annihilation of the self is the only way to survive in the 21st century. If there ever was an era that demanded images of beautiful people transcending beyond humanity and inspiring others to do the same, it's this one. I don't know about that. Although for now, because of Masquerade, my audience is quite limited. Speaking of, you want to be the star of my next movie? Not really. Need some time to mull it over? Sure. No, sorry to disappoint. But yeah, your test is over. Now the question is, do I want to work with you? Probably not. She puts away her phone for the first time since you've met her and gives you a good hard look. Guess I can give it a shot. Yeah, you're not that dumb. You're not that boring, and you're kind of cute. Don't worry, no more modding jobs. Mods get attached, and that's always bad news. She grabs your arm and starts leading you out of her room. I put you through enough stuff. Next time, I'll let you in on a little job I'm doing. We'll hit the streets, and you'll see why Sophie told you to contact me. She leads you through a labyrinth of gray corridors. It's different route than the one you made your way through in. This city is so much more than what its elites consider real. Stick with me, and I'll guide you to places Camarilla elders couldn't reach in 100 years. She leads you out of the building into the back alleys. Even if someone else rules the streets, we will rule the information highways. This is the power of hope. She lets out a theatrical laugh and disappears. You don't even notice when she leaves you alone, but you assume everything went as well as it could. A new ally, the power of hope. As you walk off into the night, everything around you feels a little less tangible than it did a few hours ago. Right. I need to feed. Oh, but it is time to get off. Thanks for watching episode 4 of Vampire the Masquerade Coteries of New York. Appreciate you watching this. Sadly, this will only be on Rumble because this will not fit with the rest of my channel on YouTube. Thank you and have a good day.